Live number 2. Sorry it took me so long to get back on. I had something I had to take care of. And, always prolonging obstacles. French vanilla toffee latte. It's all right. Still not like regular coffee. A lot going on in the world. I hear that some politician had been assassinated. I have not done a deep dive into that information. But we're going to talk about this neighbor of mine. We'll get down to business. Welcome to the Vault Excel. I have this neighbor who has been diagnosed with throat cancer, obviously from smoking cigarettes. He's still smoking cigarettes. Well, long story short, I have been helping out with the neighbor because the sister, she does not drive, and she gets dropped off to check on her brother. So I said, if you need any help with anything, just let me know. And so I have been taking her out to do certain errands for him because allegedly he couldn't drive, too weak, and she couldn't drive. So I've gotten tires put on the car 2 times. Took her to get a learner's permit because she can't drive. She had to renew it. And then the girlfriend that he was dating, a younger woman, she needed her ID renewed. Long story short, he's not probably the nicest person. I caught him the other day when I went to his apartment. It's a very deplorable condition apartment. It's filthy. It's nasty. And most of you know how I am. I don't do germs because I'm not trying to catch anything. But the point is, I was trying to do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is not the best thing because it's not beneficial to Queen. Okay? Because in the end, if I get sick, who's going to pay my doctor bills? Who's going to help me? Nobody. But anywho, the apartment is deplorable because he is a smoker. So there's soot, dirt, dust everywhere, coffee maker, mold inside the coffee. It's been like that for the past couple of weeks since I've been going in the apartment. The sister has not cleaned the apartment. Tried to get anyone to clean it up, at least make it at least sanitary for him, because naturally when you have a disease such as cancer, you need to be in a clean environment. That's just common sense. You need to be in a sterile environment because one, he has a trait in his neck. So he needs to be in a clean environment. He's on a dirty mattress. I've seen blood. I've seen roaches crawling around with the candies and things on the mattress. No sheets on the mattress. Dirty pillowcases, dirty pillows, flattened pillows. They need to be discarded. The whole damn room needs to be fumigated. Yes, there are bugs in the apartment. I've seen them crawling around in the kitchen because I have to go through the kitchen to get to his bedroom. But with all that being said, he doesn't clean it himself, the trait. He waits for the brother-in-law to come. That man works every day. So you're sitting here letting all that mucus and stuff foam up in there, clogging it up. It had gotten infected when he first got it done over a month or so ago because he's not cleaning it. He doesn't have a nurse. He doesn't want a nurse. I've asked him about getting a nurse the other day. He's like, no, he don't want anybody. He needs somebody in there. But that's the thing about being an adult. You can't make a person take their meds. You can't make a person go to the doctor. You can't make a person go get treatment, whether it's chemo, whatever it is. He's not trying to do anything to preserve life. He's bitter. He's angry. As the sister said in text messages, he's frustrated. Well, let me say this. Being frustrated is one thing, because I've been frustrated as well with my own health issues, aching all the time, not feeling my best, not being as mobile as I used to be. So I understand that frustration, but you can't take it out on other people. That's the thing. You can't lash out at people, throw things at people, pop off on people because you're not feeling well, you're sick, or you're dying. I get it. He realizes he's not going to live long. He's lived longer than we anticipated because the anticipation was that he's supposed to be dead 2 or 3 weeks ago, but he's still here. So I've been driving his cars, running errands for them, for him, and he's also been jumping in his own car, driving, which don't make sense when you're saying you're weak, okay? So why are you getting in behind the wheel of a car? See? That's negligence there. But once again, he's grown. He can do what he wants to do. I looked out the window just before going live. The car's still gone, one of his cars. So that means he's more than likely gotten behind the wheel of the car to go wherever. So this is how I look at it. If he can get behind the wheel of a car, that means he can get up, get dressed, lock his door. He, the sister, whomever, don't need Queen to help out. Because that shows me you are pushing yourself to get up, to do what you want to do, so they don't need my help. I didn't mind offering help, but the flip side of offering help is that you can't expect me to just jump up every time you send a message or knock on the door. I'm supposed to just jump up, put my clothes on, and go run errands to get tires, to get this, to get that. You're calling early morning for me to jump up to do, the learner's permit, that type of thing. I'm not an early bird, so I'm not obligated to anything or anyone. I'm a single living person. I dance by my own music. So me jumping up in the AM and I hadn't had much sleep, yeah, it was irritating. But I did it only because I offered to help. But there's always a fine line in offering to help someone, because you also have to be considerate of a person's own private life. You can't assume because I offered, I'm going to always be accessible. I'm going to always be home. Now it's to the point where I guess she thinks I want to go every day and check on him when she's not there, because she also works, you understand? But see, that's why he needs a nurse. That's why he needs to be in hospice. But he does not want that. He doesn't want hospice, nursing home, whatsoever. That's his choice. He's still lucid, so he's aware of his faculties. But I think, it's like a flip of the switch. 1 minute he's good, remembering things, and 1 minute he's acting like, oh, the car's not working. Because I was one day talking about using the car, and he was like, oh, I thought it's not working. And I was like, the car's working because I just took your sister to go get her learner's permit and your girlfriend to get the ID renewed. So your car is running. We flipped the switch over, battery's working fine, everything's good. So I think his memory kind of comes in and out. But that's expected because he's sick. Where I have the problem is the rudeness. The other day, I went, talked to the girlfriend. She's a younger girl. She's kind of slow. That's a whole nother story. They fall out, okay? Because this man is obviously not a very nice guy, and possibly was not a nice guy before he became ill. He dated one young lady. They're not together. She's moved on with another neighbor and allegedly got married, okay? In a short 2-3 month span. So then he went back and picked up this young girl who he used to date. This is all crazy. This is all ghetto, ratchet, hillbilly nonsense. He's gotten this younger girl. Not very nice to her either. That's why the other girl left him, because she said she couldn't take it and put up with his attitude and being sick. So think about that now. First woman's left him, married to another guy, allegedly, another neighbor. And now he's picked up the other girl that he used to date, and she's wailing and crying, saying the same thing. He's not nice to me. He's mean. She came out screaming and hollering the other night when I was outside. I thought he had died. And she's like, no, he's mean to me. He said I tried to steal his lighter. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I went to use his lighter, and he just got mad and told me I was trying to steal it, and he threw it. See, that right there is disrespectful. She's coming there to talk to you because you two hadn't talked in a few days because you got mad at her for whatever reason. Again, she comes up there, brings him some cigarette candies, trying to be nice, olive branch. Queen is in the middle, being the negotiator, to call her to say, she'd like to come up here and see him. Naturally, I asked him first. He said, yeah. So you go through all this to go call the person to come see him. And then when she gets there, he's nasty. She wasn't even there all the 10 minutes. He didn't want to be bothered, but then says, I'll call you later. So then it wasn't even 20 minutes later, we're outside. He calls her back, wanting her to come back up there. So then she goes back to the apartment, and then they fall out over a stupid lighter. A lighter. But this is the point. He's obviously just a nasty human being. And right now, the devil is whooping his ass. Okay? You see, that's what people don't understand when you work for the devil. You can't think he's going to be your friend forever. Yeah, I'm saying that. Because he's not going to be your friend. Just as quick as you work for him for free, because the devil don't pay you nothing, he will come back, turn back around, and whoop your tail. That's your payback for working for free. Because that's the devil's job, is to wreak havoc. So he's been using you all along to be a nasty, vile human being rude, vulgar. Now you're dying with cancer, throat cancer. You're suffering. It's obvious he's suffering. He's lost a lot of weight. He's very frail, tall guy, lying in pure filth, filthy apartment, soot everywhere from ashes, from smoking. Still smoking and you're not supposed to. You know damn well no smoker's supposed to get down in that hole. Then he complained about a bad tooth. The devil is whooping your ass. And possibly rightfully so. I don't wish cancer on anybody because my mother passed away with breast cancer. My grandmother had cancer. So I don't wish cancer on anybody. But I also have seen cancer be in people who are not so nice, if you get my drift. Oh yeah. I've seen cancer and death in people who were not so nice to the people who they claimed they loved and cared about. And I think back on that. Is this their payback for not being such a nice human? Now, naturally, they played the role to some people who assumed they were nice people. But then another set of people, persons, they weren't so nice to. I think you know people like that. And we all can be accused of being the same. We're nice to this person, but we're not so nice to this person over here. And maybe we have our reasons. And then sometimes the reasons are selfish. Mr. Johnny, I believe, has had a fruitful life. I learned that he had been to penitentiary many moons ago. He mentioned that. Don't know why, never asked. But I don't think he knows how to treat women. I think that's obvious. The fact that he's 67 years of age, Caucasian male, alone, in a room, a filthy bed, no sheets, sole bed with no linen, nasty pillowcases. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and be truthful with you. One comforter thrown out in the dumpster. Sister put it in the garbage chute the other day. Because it's sold. Because he doesn't know how to clean this or chooses not to learn how to clean his own trach, okay? He's put himself here by smoking. Smoking is what led to this cancer, obviously. He's not following through with the regimen that he's supposed to stay well, to stay healthy, or at least preserve what little life he has left. And all she can do. Because what I have to do is assess the situation. One, what's going on between him and the female, it's none of my business, none of my concern. And as I told her the other day, you have to do what's best for you. You don't want someone mistreating you, talking down to you, yelling at you, throwing things at you. You don't have to stick around, okay? Because really, he's old enough to be her father. But she's, I think, 37, 38. He's 67, so he's old enough to be her parent. She doesn't have to stick around. And she had to have known that he wasn't a great guy. I also heard some not so nice things about her. I'm not going to divulge it on the live stream, but things she accused him of that allegedly people say were not true. And the fact that he went back in looking for her after the other woman left tells you they're all messed up. It's the blind leading the blind. But anywho, you know he's not a nice guy. He's rude, obnoxious. Why would you want to be with him? That's what you have to tell yourself. That's what she has to tell herself. He didn't change the last time you were canoodling with him. The other lady left him. Then he goes looking for you because he's lonely. But he doesn't know how to treat you. And you already knew that this second, third, fourth round, however long they've been going back and forth. But him throwing a lighter, he's telling her what he thinks of her. And what he doesn't know, I caught him being nasty to her when I went into the apartment the other night. I walked in, came into the room. He was being nasty to her, and then he looked up and he saw me, and then he kind of perked up and, kind of did like that, smiled. I caught that. He was being nasty to her, and all she was doing was trying to be helpful. And that's what I was thinking when I left the apartment. You're sitting up here in this filthy-ass apartment, bugs crawling around in your bed. I'm looking at roach crawling in your damn bed, no sheets, stain, even blood stains on the bed. Yeah, I'm telling it all. I'm running favors for you to help you and your sister out by, getting your cars together so you can give them to her after death. You got this young girl in here, you're old enough to be her father. You're mistreating her, talking down to her, snapping at your sister because you're frustrated that you're dying. Who owes you anything? Yeah, I'm going to say that. Now, everyone may have their own interpretation of the information I'm bringing. You're entitled to your opinion, but you all know how I am. I don't owe nobody nothing. Because one, I didn't have to volunteer to be helpful. And I'm not going to help anyone continue to help you when I see that you're being rude and vulgar to people trying to help you. Because then that means I'm a party to the bullshit. And I preach about that all the time on this network. Be a part of the solution, not the problem. So me running errands, driving these people around to do this, to do that for him, going to Walmart to get tires on the car Sunday. She's hunting me down like shit. I'm wanted by the marshals. I do have a life. And my life is not going to revolve around this apartment building or doing favors for people. And that's what she and he and everybody else have to understand. Queen has a life. Just because I'm single, don't got small children running around, does not mean I want to be just jumping up at the drop of a hat because somebody needs tires for their car. Because you all do have other family members who could do these same favors. She has a whole husband, the sister. She also has a son. So why can't they go out and take the car and get tires? Just like the other day, he went and got a tag put on the car last week. Drove the car, weak, almost fell 4 times out in public. So that tells me if you can get up and get the strength to drive your car to go get a tag put on one of your other cars, you don't need Queen to help run any more errands. And the fact that I've caught him being nasty to the girlfriend and then also subjected myself to going into this apartment that's very deplorable, I'm risking my own health by going. That's first and foremost. 2, I don't want to be a party to a person who's being nasty and rude to people who are trying to help him. And 3, he can get up and do for himself, obviously, because the other car outside is missing, which means somebody is driving that car somewhere. And 9 times out of 10, it's him driving that car. So if you can get up and drive your own car, you don't need Angela to run any more errands on your behalf. And frankly, I don't want to be a party to the nonsense. And that's what I was afraid of when I first heard a young girl crying 2 weeks or so ago. They had a little falling out or whatever. He was mean to her, said something. And when she came out, I thought he had died then. And I was like, what's wrong? Did he die? And she's like, no, he said this. He's mad. He told me he don't want me to come to the apartment no more. He said he's going to call the police on me. And I was like, what the hell is going on? What are you all arguing about? All he does is lie in the bed. He don't have a TV playing. He don't have a radio playing. I've asked him if he want a TV to play, a radio. No. And so that's what's so sick about the situation. You have this man dying of cancer in a bed that's filthy, a room that's filthy, an apartment that's filthy. To just stare in the bed or look out and stare into space, and then you want company to come in and look back at you in this deplorable space with no background TV, radio, nothing playing. Apartment full of junk, food, drinks, a hoarder, thinking the world's gonna end, greedy. I can tell he's a very greedy person just because I'm looking at all the soda pop drinks piled up in can boxes, sweets, Reese cups, Oreos, all that's on the bed. Just a hoarder of nonsense. Just greedy. And I can tell he's greedy. He's a greedy human. I don't know if he was poor growing up, because a lot of people who grow up poor, they want to try to amass all they can. And it's not to be disrespectful, to anybody that grew up poor, but just saying, a lot of people who grew up poor, when they finally get a little bit of money, they want to buy. Just like he had 3 cars on the property. Where we live, you're not supposed to have but only 1 car. So that's, to me, a sign of greed. If you got money to buy 3 cars, you should have enough money to go pay for you, a better place to live. home or something, trailer, and you can park all your cars on your property. But the first girlfriend, I remember giving her some costume jewelry that somebody gave to me free. And when I handed it to her, he took the bag trying to look in it to see what was in it, which was rude because I didn't give it to him. I handed it to her. And I said, "You're welcome to have this jewelry if you like." And he took the bag looking through it. And I said, "Ain't no diamonds or nothing in there. Gold. I've already looked through it." Checkmate. See, that showed me what type of person he is. He has to be in control of everything. Okay? Now, this is just a few months ago, about 3 months ago, May or so. Coming up 4 months, June, July, August. Yeah, coming up 4 months ago. He took the bag. And I'm looking at it like, it's women's jewelry. What are you looking for? And that shows me the type of person he is. He's a hoarder. He's greedy. He wants to be in control of people. And that's the reason why he's alone. He's 67 years of age, not married to anyone that I know of. Gone through one woman who's moved on with another man, neighbor. And then you got this girl who's mentally slow, mistreating her. She's crying, this and that. Folks worried about who she's dating and liking. Who cares? She's a young woman. If she wants to go date somebody else, that's her business, because she's not married to Mr. Johnny. And then, too, he's dying. So it's not like she's married to him and cheating on her husband. And then, too, she's being mistreated by him. Why would she not want to talk to another guy or have a male friend? And I can tell that she's very lonely because she likes to be outside a lot and she don't like to be in her apartment. But why would she want to subject herself to an elderly man who's old enough to be her father, who's rude and nasty to her? Because in the end, she doesn't owe him anything. And that's my public opinion. Because I feel the same way. When you are coming across as rude and throwing things and snapping at people, and you're mumbling through a trach, you got a lot of damn nerve. You got a lot of damn nerve. So for my own conscience, I'm not doing any more favors. I pray I'm not putting my foot in my mouth. But I'm not going in the apartment to check on him. Because one, as most of you know, I've suffered thyroid condition, thyroid disease. I have no thyroid now. I cannot be in any smoke. Most of you know my voice has changed worse drastically. It's still raspy. Doctor said it would change in a month. Well, we're already at 5 weeks. It has not changed. My voice is totally different. And there's no way I need to be putting smoke in my own throat and lungs to help somebody else out. Because I'm not trying to end up like him. That's number one. Okay? I'm not trying to be around cigarette smoke. Number two, the apartment is unkempt. And I don't know what I might be taking out of there back to my own apartment. And number three, he's not a nice guy. And I already had an idea, when I offered to be helpful. But I don't owe these people anything. I don't owe them anything. It was just a neighbor trying to be neighborly. And the fact that he does not want to preserve his own life, seek treatment, and do whatever the doctors asked him to do in the beginning that led him down this road shows me he doesn't care about himself. And what you have to tell yourself, if a person don't care enough to preserve their own life, they can't care anything about you as a human. So that's why he doesn't mind being nasty to people, snapping, going off, getting upset, then acting like he wants to cry when his sister leaves. She's got me wanting to run down there and check on him, and she had just walked out of his apartment. And so I was like, well, what's wrong? Did he fall? Well, what's the problem? And I'm like, where are you? Oh, I'm in the parking lot going to my car with my husband. Okay, well, what do you need from me? The conversation didn't make any sense. Well, it looked like he was about to cry. I said, yeah, he's probably wanting to cry because he's lonely. He wants you to stick around, but you can't because you have to go to work. So that's what's so baffling. He wants to cry, wants pity, of course. But then when the girlfriend comes around, I ask you, do you want me to go get her or tell her to come over? She comes, and then you treat her like SHIT. Make it make sense. I don't want to be in his situation. I don't want to be downtrodden, knowing I'm dying, body frail, can't eat, no appetite, losing weight. Then I know the inevitable is on its way. I get it. That's a terrible, terrible place to be. But lashing out at people, how is that going to be helpful? You think making yourself upset and lashing out and gurgling through a tube is going to make your days better? It's not. You're only shortening what time you already have left. And why do you want that to be your last memory? Is bitching and mumbling through it, being vulgar and mean, dying with cancer. So as I told the young lady, you do whatever you want to do, but you don't have to be subjected to that type of behavior. She owes herself more than that. I get it, the sister's hanging around because that's her brother. So she's putting up with his, up and down mood swings or whatever. But the young lady, she don't have to deal with it. And I promised you all I'm going to put up a poll. And I'm sorry I got distracted. I did not put up the poll, but I will do it right after this live. Do you think a person should subject themselves to a dying person or a sickly person who has a bad attitude, bad tongue? Should you continue to deal with them? Do favors for them, help them, clean them, whatsoever? Should you stick around? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm out of here. He has not had a bath. His feet were black the other night when I was in the room from where he's walking on his floor, and it's nasty. Bed nasty, no sheets on the bed. Pillows flattened, no life to them. Pillowcases nasty, soiled. His clothes are soiled because that trach is leaking. Food, milk, it's disgusting. He doesn't want a nurse, he doesn't want a caregiver. Not trying to go to hospice. All his choice. But it's unsanitary. And frankly, nobody should subject themselves to being in a room with all them open germs. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you are now endangering your own livelihood just to keep comfort to a dying man. I don't know how much longer he has to live, but I know I'm not obligated to immerse myself in the drama. Because as I said, I have to stand on what I preach about. So I can't tell you to go out here and try to live your best life and treat people accordingly, and tell you, oh, somebody's mistreating you, leave, don't put up with it. And then I'm sitting up here watching this fiasco go down. Now, one could say, well, you could just help out, walk away, don't think about what's going on with the people. Of course I can do that. But the point is, she's wanting me to go in this apartment and check on her brother, and I don't want to do it anymore. Because I don't want to be around cigarette smoke. Even the girlfriend, she smokes. And I don't want to be rude to her and tell her, I don't mind talking to you or sitting outside with you occasionally, but shit, you can't stand by me either smoking cigarettes. Everybody damn smokes. The sister, she vapes. It's a lot going on. But the sister is not doing what she needs to do, because there's no way I will allow my brother to lie in a filthy ass apartment, bed, ain't bathe, trach nasty. Why don't you clean it? Checkmate. You're coming over here spending the night. Hey, Patricia. You're coming over here spending the night with your brother, staying a day, 2, 3, whatever. Don't know where the hell you're sleeping, because there's a lawn chair in his bedroom, and I know damn well she ain't sitting up all day and night in that damn chair. I don't even see her really changing her clothes much. And I'm sure the bathroom's probably filthy and nasty. So I bet you the sister, she ain't bathing either. I'm going there. What the hell is really going on here? How can you look at your brother lie in a filthy apartment, filthy bed, knowing he needs to be bathed, knowing that trach needs to be cleaned out often, and you're not even willing to learn how to clean it, and you're going to wait for your husband to come do it, who I'm assuming has a full-time job. Are y'all hearing this? This is bullshit. She don't know how to drive a car. She don't own a car, allegedly. He's leaving her cars, but he's not going to give her the paperwork allegedly until after he dies, which don't make no sense because how you going to give somebody the paper if you're dead? But he wants these two last cars to stay over here on the property, which management has told him he ain't supposed to have the two cars. And he already got rid of a truck, and I guess her son or somebody got that truck. So we're talking about 3 cars. 2 are on the property now. But he doesn't want to hand over, the paperwork until he's dead. He sleeps with his wallet right beside him, keys, snacks all on the bed, no sheets. It's horrible. But that's his journey, not mine. And she wants to be a party to that, going in there watching him look like that, not trying to get him into a bath or shower. That's on her. But I thought about that yesterday, and I told the management, I said, this is some BS that she's sitting here watching him, looking at how bad he looks, knowing he needs to be shaved, haircut, all this beard, mustache, all that needs to be trimmed off because he's sickly. And when you're sick, you need to have some type of maintenance for hygienic purposes. And when you have people who are lying in beds all day, they're going to eventually get bed sores. They're going to eventually possibly get pneumonia, swelling of the legs, feet, all that, because you're not moving. You have to be able to circulate. Blood has to circulate up, if you didn't know. So this is why people's feet, legs swell, because you're not walking, you're not moving. And now you got heart trouble. And naturally, his heart's going to be weak because there's no movement, and he's also sick. Then we don't even know if the cancer has spread to other parts of his body because he's not getting any type of treatment and no chemo. And I'm assuming that's the reason why the hospital sent him home over a month ago, because they knew the prognosis. He wasn't going to get better. But to lie up in filth, hell no. I wouldn't do it to myself, and I wouldn't watch my family member lie in filth because they're dying. I would ask some people to come over and we would clean up that apartment, start getting some of that stuff out of the way. Maybe think about getting a hospital bed. I asked her about that. I said, do you think maybe he needs a hospital bed? That way he could sit upright when he eats and drink and everything. I don't know. That's her answer for everything, because she's slow too. Just a crazy damn hillbilly with no teeth, goofy as hell. I don't know. Everything's I don't know. But when you gonna try to figure something out? I hate when people act like that, like they don't got no damn sense. I don't know. That's her answer for everything. He's frustrated. No. Well, what this got to do with him taking a bath, taking a shower, somebody coming in with a razor, shaving his hair? All this needs to be gone. This hair needs to be cut because he's not moving around. So lying in bed, naturally, hair, fingernails, all that's going to grow. His toenails, they're gross. I noticed them the other night. They need to be trimmed. Then he says he has a tooth that's bad. Obviously, that needs to be pulled, but he's so sick, it's probably going to be a good idea, to put him under, to pull a tooth. It's bad. And I don't want to be a party to it anymore. I've done my part. I've taken the car to get used tires. Then I took that same car Sunday to get new tires from Walmart. I've taken the sister to get her learner's permit, which makes no sense. I told her, why didn't you just study and get a driver's license? I said, you need to be accountable, independent rather. I said, because your husband may get sick, get hurt. How are you going to get around? You're going to be waiting for people to take you places, do things for you? Learn how to drive. Be independent. Trust me, you will enjoy having access to a car, getting out, going to the store, if you want an ice cream, you want a hot dog, you want to go buy you a new dress. This man is leaving a woman cars who don't even know how to drive. Are you all hearing what I'm saying? 3 damn cars, 2 cars on the truck, all running, left to a woman who won't even go study a test and learn how to drive. That trip to the DMV last week was a waste of damn time to renew a damn learner's permit. And I told her, I can teach you how to drive. We can go in a church parking lot, teach you how to drive, learn how to park, study for the test, take it, get you a driver's license. At least you can drive from your house to your job. And then when you get safe, get on the interstate, drive just a little ways to one exit, get off, and just get used to being on the interstate next to, fast moving cars. You're going to have to teach yourself. We all had to teach ourselves how to drive on the interstate. And I get it. It's scary because the cars are going fast. You got tractor trailers. It's very scary. But you need to know how to drive your car. You need to know how to drive on an interstate because you don't know what situation you're ever going to be in. And I told her, just like right now, your brother is sick and dying and needs people to run around for him. You might be in the same situation. Your husband gets sick, you now have to be able to now wait for somebody to come pick you up and take you to take care of business, go to the grocery store, do things. You live out in the country. You should not want to have to wait on someone. And I don't feel like I'm preaching. I feel like I'm telling her what is known. It's called survival. You cannot sit around and wait for people to do things for you. You have to be self-sufficient. You have to be self-reliant because you don't know the shape you're going to be in one day. You cannot assume your children will always be around to do things for you. Your husband, your wife, your boyfriend. That's not realistic. You got to take care of self. And I'm looking at her and I can see she's doing the same to me what she's doing to herself. She ain't trying to help herself. So now she's relying on Queen, the neighbor, to do all this running. Now you're sending texts talking about, have you been over there at all to check on him? Oh, I didn't know that was my job to start running over there checking on him every day. Did you ask me to go check on him every day? You didn't. You didn't ask. And I didn't volunteer to go check on him every day. And after the events from the other night with the girlfriend whining and crying and getting herself all upset because he's angry with her over a stupid ass lighter, I had to have a chat with my own self. And I said, you know what, Queen? This is how you get wrapped up in stupid ass drama, fooling with people who don't have their lives together. They loop you into their drama, and I don't want no parts of it. And it wouldn't matter if the man was dying or not. I don't want to be in no drama. And I had a feeling it would be something with the girlfriend anyway, because I could see this exchange they have is not good. And it's the same exchange he had with the other young woman. That's why they're not together. I didn't want to be a part of that. You understand what I'm saying? And now the sister, she's not self-reliant because she can't do anything for herself and she chooses not to. Let's make that clear. She's walking, talking, nothing wrong with her. She's just lazy and ain't wanting to better her circumstances. She's now looking at the neighbor. Oh, well, I'll just send a text to Angie, call her. Oh, have you gone down there? Have you checked on her? Have you done this? Well, guess what? Queen don't have to do anything because your brother has left the building. Elvis got up. Elvis got up and got in his car, and which means he and you don't need Angela to no longer go check on him. Because I think anybody listening to the story can say, well, damn, Queen, if he can get up and get in behind the wheel of a car, he and she don't need you to go check on him. He's doing pretty well for a dying person. Exactly. You teach people how to treat you. You continue to let people walk all over you, talk to you in kind of way, call you nasty names, bait you into doing things you don't want to do that are wrong, illegal, whatever. Walk off. You owe yourself more. You have to tell yourself you're valuable. If you want to go out here and do some crazy shit, wrong, illegal, whatever, that's on you. But don't let nobody bait you into nothing. You don't feel comfortable doing something, just say, hey, I'm not trying to be funny, but I prefer not to do that. Whatever it is. Be the captain of your own ship. And know that when you see a sinking ass ship, what options you got but to try to jump and see if your ass can swim? You know what I'm saying? That's that. That's that. As I said before, I don't know how long Mr. Johnny has until he perishes. I'm not wishing ill on him. But he needs to get better care, meaning a nurse, caregiver, or a hospice. And in the end, that's his choice. He does not want to do that. Obviously, I have no control over that, and it's none of my business. But I am not a caregiver, as I told somebody the other night that said, well, why don't you bathe him? I looked at this person like they were damn crazy. I said, first of all, I don't feel comfortable enough bathing him. He probably wouldn't feel comfortable with me bathing him, and it's not my job. You're damn right. That's what a caregiver is for. You call your medical provider and you say, hey, I need a caregiver. Or a relative calls and says, hey, my brother needs a caregiver. He needs to take a bath. He needs to do this. I can't pick him up. I can't get him in the tub. I mean, however. And then you navigate onward. It ain't Angela's job. That's not my job. I've done all I could do. And like I said, when I looked out the window, his car was missing, the bigger car. And I said, well, he must have gotten his car today to run wherever. That means he don't need Angela to stop by and to go do anything. Because if he can go stand in a line and get a legal tag for a car, or sit in the chair rather, he's doing better than most dying folks, if you get my drift. And as I said, I just want to remove myself from the situation. All I'll do from here on out is pray for him, pray for his salvation, pray that God will favor him after death for his nasty ass attitude and ways. And there you have it. And as for the girlfriend, if she chooses to go back in there and deal with him, that's on her. There won't be no judgment from me because I won't have, anything to say about it. That will be between them two. As for the sister, I have not responded to the text. Her asking me yesterday about going over there, and then her responding about, well, yeah, he's frustrated, because I sent a voice clip saying that, they fell out about a lighter, I still didn't respond because I don't want to keep engaging about foolishness. And that's how I rock. And that's how I rock on this network. When I get fed up and tired of something, most of you know how I am, I'm done with it. I don't want to go back in. I don't want to keep talking about it. I don't want to message about it. I don't want to text about it. I don't want to call about it. I'm done. This is the very reason why people stay uptight, stay stressed, because you're still in the pot. And the only way to stop the nonsense is to get your ass out of the pot. And that's what I decided to do, was get out of the pot. I'm done with it. You teach people how to treat you. And you have to think about that. You're in life. You don't know what shape you're going to be in And what'll be a shame is to lie on your deathbed thinking about dying, thinking about all the things you've encountered in life, thinking about all the people you wronged, mistreated, and are you getting your payback by suffering in that damn bed? That'd be a hell of a burden to carry. Damn, I'm wondering if I'm suffering because of how I treated people. Did I get this cancer? Not just because I was smoking cigarettes, but because I was just a nasty bird. I was mean to some people, rude to some people. We all have to think about that when things happen to us. It's just payback from some way back. Of course, they say God is not like that, but you'd have to be non-human not to think that. How much time does Mr. Johnny have? I don't know. But he's moving about. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's my true story, everybody, about my neighbor who is dying from throat cancer, has a trach in his throat. And I decided to share this information with you all. When there's an update, I'll bring you the said information. I thank you for your time. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Follow me on the Newsbreak app. And if you'd like to donate to this great network, $DeGanji129 Cash App. Stickers and chats are always welcome during the live stream. Oh, hello. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. I'll be back with more commentary. I'm going to put a short up pertaining to this Tyler Perry nonsense. And then I'm going to put up a poll pertaining to, would you stop dealing with a person who is sickly and or dying because they were rude and nasty to you? Or would you continue dealing with them until they die? Or they could just have a lot of sick issues with them, health problems, but they're nasty. Do you continue dealing with them? I want you to ponder on that before you take the poll. And if you answer in the comment section, yes or no, tell me why you gave that answer. Don't just say yes or no, I would, I wouldn't. If you say yes, I'll still deal with them, you tell the queen why you're still going to deal with them. Because I want to hear it, and I'm sure other people would like to know. Why would you continue to deal with a dying person or a sick person who is rude and nasty to you? You tell us why, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to hear your explanation. That's my commentary, everybody. You have been listening to the Vault XL. This is live number 2. Please check out my early live pertaining to Brian Korberger. 2 female students say they were stalked by him at WSU. One was working at the university bookstore. The other young lady worked in the, the department that he was working in, criminology department. And they have given their testimony to law officials, and now that information has been released to the public. And I'm sure there'll be even more crazy nonsense revealed. As I said before in the live earlier, this man has pled guilty to killing these 4 kids, and it's the gift that keeps giving, sadly. They cannot stop talking about this food. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents releasing this, and this. I'm tired of talking about Brian Korberger. I want this motherfucker to go away. Oh, that's right, he is away. But yet we're still hearing stuff about he's whining and crying in prison, and they're talking about me, they're threatening me. Motherfucker, you are locked up in solitary. Deal with it. Because you had no business killing them damn kids. So it's over with. And why are you all putting this information out here about him crying and complaining? Who cares? Nobody cares. What about them 4 kids? You think they weren't screaming for mercy when he was butchering them? Stop. Why me? Why are you doing this to me? Exactly. And he has the nerve to sit up here and complain that somebody's threatening to sexually assault him. Those are your problems? Oh, okay. Well, I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of bringing updates. Release these damn documents and move on. I'm tired of talking about Brian Korberger. He is a nobody. He is only important to God. I ain't God. He don't mean nothing to me. Just keeping it real. Tired of hearing about him because it's getting ridiculous. You know, every other day they keep releasing stuff. We're all running out of breath to give the latest information pertaining to this damn dodo bird. I'm tired of talking about him. But I bring you the updates because it's out, and somebody probably mentioned, like, hey, did you hear? But I'm tired of talking about him. He is nobody. He is of no relevance. I get it. People are curious why he chose these people. What do I always say about true crime? Don't ask why, ask why not. Because that's what the killer is saying. Why are you asking why I murdered these people? I did it because I could. I had the opportunity. I chose them. They left their damn door unlocked. I watched and I gawked and I stalked and I made my way in their house and I unalived them. What else you want to know? You got to think like how they think. They don't care. So we're beating our heads for a motive. There is no motive. It's no motive. You know damn well there's no logical motive for killing those kids. Same thing with children. There's no logical motive to beat a baby, beat a kid, abuse a kid. There's no logical motive. So it's the same with some university kids. They didn't know him from a can of paint. He didn't know them. So why is everybody searching for a motive? There is no motive. He is just an angry, bitter bitch. Voila. There's your answer. Surprise. He's bitter. Kind of like that person down the hall that's dying from cancer. He's bitter. He's angry. Lashing out over a stupid ass lighter versus lashing out and stabbing 4 kids to death. Checkmate. I'm out of here.